Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Ron Laikind, the CEO of a company called Extreme Mist. Thank you for joining us, Ron.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So tell us about Extreme Mist, what you're all about.
We developed a line of personal cooling systems, not just for the hardcore hiker or adventurer or trekker, whichever term you like to use, but it also can be for the cheering parents on the sidelines of a sporting event or anywhere else that you need additional cooling. But the primary product was made for hiking, running, and cycling. And then from there, we have other products that have sprung off of that same system.
So tell us how this works. Describe it for us.
Sure. So we have a pump. It's about the size of an iPhone, a large iPhone, except it's thicker. And we call it our blue pump technology. And it gets installed into any hydration pack. We have a retrofit kit that can go to any pack. You already have a Camelback or an Osprey or something. The little Plumbing 101, that was our first product, and you could install it yourself. Then we came out with our own line of backpacks, running packs, I should say. They're more like a running vest with everything in it. We call it our jaw pack. Just add water. So all they have to do is put water in it, and they're ready to go. So the system works off of a standard hydration system that has a drink hose coming over one shoulder. Now, if you just picture in your mind your drink hose coming over one shoulder, and now a smaller quarter-inch hose coming over your other shoulder, ending at your chest, and it has a mist nozzle. And within that mist nozzle, it can rotate 360, up, down, omnidirectional. And when you turn it on with our wireless remote control, that's the size of a key fob, like it for opening your car door, it has 8 different speeds on it. So you can control the density of the cloud that's in front of you. So seeing that it's shooting out from your chest area, it shoots directly in front of you. So wherever you walk, run, cycle, or move into, you're always into your own ice cold mist cloud. You're always moving into it. Can't really get away from it at that point. And then you can control the speeds again and the density from the remote control.
Very cool, literally. So tell us, it can do even more as well, I understand, than just cool you.
Yes, it can. Well, the cooling part starts with obviously spraying around your body area, your neck, your face, but you're also breathing it in. If you aim it properly, I always aim it towards my nose, a little bit up towards my nose, and then I'm breathing it. It helps with my runner's dry throat. And I'm cooling from within as well as outside, inside and outside. And then when I get to camp, if I'm out on a trek or something and I want to set up my tent and it's too hot, when you get there, when the sun's still out, these light hiker tents, they're like little greenhouses. They don't reflect the sun too well. So you can take the pump out of the backpack if you want to. And I always carry another line. We call it our quad nozzle kit. And it has a 16-foot line with 4 nozzles on it. And I can use 1, 2, 3, or 4. Everything's like compression fittings. And I can then attach it to the tent or to my vehicles, golf carts, whatever you want to do with it. And you have multiple nozzles on it. And of course, someone has to hold the remote control, which is an easy 30-foot range on the remote. So I can actually air condition my tent when I get to camp and get it cooled down. I put it on the outside right at the opening, and I'll cool it right down. And I hook that up to any water source at that point. It doesn't have to be the bladder or reservoir within a backpack. I can just hook it into an open pail if that's all I had, any type of water source.
So how long do you last on a charge, or I don't know if it takes batteries or is rechargeable?
Sure. It's a lithium-ion system. It has the battery pack that comes off of it, but it's kind of built into the system. And you've got a button on it, so it lights up different lights on it, up to 4 lights, so you know where you're at on your power. And then it's a micro USB charging. In between charges, it'll last me, on the hiking speed, I get up to 16 hours. If I'm on the full speed, going up to full speed 8, driving 4 nozzles on the tent or something, anywhere from 5 to 6 hours between charges. Then on the battery on the other side, we have an actual power bank built in. So you're out in the boonies somewhere and you lose your power on your phone. It's a power bank, and you can charge your other devices with the same battery system.
And I suppose if you're really creative, you could hook up one of these portable little solar panels or something to a pack and keep yourself charged maybe a little better. I don't know if it works that way.
You have to have a pretty good sized solar panel to do that because it is a large lithium pack. But yes, theoretically, you can do that. And I have done it before.
Very interesting. So tell us about availability and pricing, Ron.
Sure. So we have three different systems. It starts at $119 and goes up to $189 for the backpack system. They're ready to go. Then a real popular one, especially this last summer, is our quad kit. And our quad kit doesn't have the tools to put it in a backpack, the connectors and things that it would in the retrofit kit or in our backpack. And the quad kit is mainly for people that need it for an easy up, a gazebo, I have it on my Razor, my 4-seat Razor, and everyone has a nozzle head above their seat, and they adjust the aim of it. Of course, being the driver, I keep the remote control. And the biggest thing that this summer was golf carts. People are putting them on golf carts, and that kit is $169, and that comes with everything you need for a 16-foot line.
Very interesting. Where can people find you?
They can find me at extrememist.com. They can find me on Amazon. And in some stores, you can find some of the systems that we carry, like REI. They carry the retrofit kit and a miniature shower head that we didn't talk about that you can plug into where the mist nozzle goes. And you can wash your dishes, clean your gear, or take a shower, clean yourself. And we have other accessories as well that are available on our website that go with the system.
Really, really interesting. How'd you come up with this? What's the story behind it?
There always is a story, isn't there? I'm an avid trekker and hiker, and I do a lot of third world countries. And I happened to be, this was about a decade ago, I was crossing the Sahara Desert out of Mali, and I was on a 1,000-mile trek. I did have 3 camels with me to carry gear and a cameleer that knew the route somewhat. We were following the North Star every night to get to our destination, which was these old salt mines out in the middle of nowhere. So about 100 miles in or so, it was 140 degrees every day in the sunlight. It was miserable. So we'd have to stop and put blankets over our head and just sit under a blanket for 4 to 5 hours every day. Pretty horrible. And our water was in inner tubes that we'd get from the wells that we'd run into hopefully every 3 or 4 days. And these giant inner tubes, truck inner tubes, we'd put on the camels and they'd absorb heat. So it was just short of boiling water. So that was what I was having to drink. My cameleer showed me a trick, a 1,000-year-old trick. I took my stainless steel bowl, put that water in it, put it out in the sand outside of my shadow while I was sitting there, and aimed it towards the sun and the breeze. And within 15 minutes, I had almost ice cold water from the evaporation process. And living in Arizona, I know about that because we have mist systems all over the place, commercially and at home. So I thought, why not put one in the backpack? I didn't act on it for quite a while, but finally got around to it, and here we are.
That's an amazing story, and you live to tell about it. But this was a voluntary thing that you did. It sounds like it wasn't like you were forced into this.
This is what I do for fun, but it's not always so much fun. And I almost didn't live to tell about that one. There's a lot of side stories on that, from Al Qaeda to you name it out there. So that was a pretty rough trip. But since then, I'd like doing deserts, but I also do the Himalayas or things. And I also use this at higher altitudes. Even though it's cold out, that sun up there is so brutal. Again, you can't crawl into your tent even at altitude. So I learned to start taking the hose system with me as well, and air condition my tent when I get to camp too early, which happens quite frequently while the sun's still high.
Really terrific. Does this add a lot of weight? Obviously, you're into trekking and know how important that is. How heavy is this to be able to carry around?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm cutting my toothbrush in half, and I'm cutting the straps off my backpack that are too long. So I am conscious of weight, but the trade-off for this, there's always a trade-off. You always got to decide when you're packing up what you're keeping and what you're not. The trade-off for this is 16 ounces on the system. And for that heat relief to make me go stronger, go further, and much more comfortably and safer, it's an easy trade-off in my book.
So, Ron, besides the great outdoors, the applications there, you found that during the pandemic, people have found other uses for your technology?
Yeah, that's right, Fred. We actually, back in March, my gym was closing down before the mandatory shutdown, and I asked them why, and they said because no one trusted that they were sanitizing or disinfecting properly. And they're in my parking lot right across the way in my center here, so from my office. So I said, hold that thought for 10 minutes. I walked back, I pulled off the drink hose from our system and extended the chest length misting hose down to arm's length, and went back, had them put their solution in that they use for disinfecting, and put it on the manager. He walked around and started spraying everything. We have a delivery system, and with this, he turns it up on the 8 speed, and it totally atomizes the product. It makes his product that he was using a squirt bottle last 3 to 4 times longer and doing a far superior job of coverage because it's dropping those droplets down to such a fine atomization, and it covered every neural nook and cranny in the equipment. And the gym broke out in applause, and they decided to keep it open until they mandatorily got shut down a couple of weeks later. So we went ahead and obviously slapped some stickers, some warning stickers on the bladder so people wouldn't reutilize them for drinking. And within this pivot, we went ahead and sent them out to some of the COVID wards around into New York and into the Phoenix area. And next thing we knew, some of the sanitation companies, from Janny King to the MTA, to airlines, to hospitals, to office buildings, gyms, restaurants, because the system's so quiet, and seeing it was made for runners, it's the most comfortable backpack system for sanitizing that you could get. So since then, in the last 5 months or so, we've sold thousands of these for that purpose as well. That was our pivot.
And you would need to dedicate the whole system to that purpose? Would you not want to use the pump again after for drinking purposes, et cetera?
In reality, you could use the pump again because you're not drinking from the pump. It gets bypassed the pump with a Y connector straight to the bladder, but you wouldn't want to reutilize the bladder. So in essence, you could, but I don't think anyone will because I believe that people are going to be sanitizing long after COVID's even gone. So they're probably going to keep these as that system.
Again, the website is extrememist.com.
I will tell you one thing, Fred. We do have a separate site for the sanitizing, and that's portablesanitizingsystem.com.
portablesanitizingsystem.com. Ron Laikind, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.